No, you're good. I'm gonna switch it up and use this one tonight.
Mhm.
I'm gonna switch it up and use this one.
Okay,
Wow.
good.
Good evening. It is 5:30 p.m. We are going to begin our regular board meeting here on Tuesday, May 23rd. If you would please stand for the pledge followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mission, you bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for all these people who have gathered here today in the name of education. And I just ask that you could go with us tonight and watch over us, help us to make the right decisions for our students, help us to have conversations that honor you, Lord. I ask for special blessings on our 2023 seniors. Be with them this weekend and Friday, especially as they're going to graduate and as they go into the next chapter of their lives. I just pray that they will remember DeSoto County and that they'll come back and be a blessing to us all, Lord. Ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
For roll call purposes, all board members are present except for Ms. Chancey. She's unable to be with us tonight. And of course, our Councilor Johnson and Superintendent Dr. Bennett. For approval of minutes, item number 5.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Second.
The motion by Ms. Schumann and second by Dr. Goodman. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6, Ms. Johnston.
We don't have anything at this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Number 7, Dr. Bennett.
Yes, ma'am, we've got quite a few tonight. We've got a good crowd tonight. I welcome everybody here. Good to see all of you. We've got some celebration pieces we're going to visit with tonight. First of all, we've got a great little partnership that's going to involve Sheriff Potter, the high school, South Florida State College, board chair, sheriff, and Josh. If I could get y'all just to step up just a second, let everybody recognize y'all. We're going to be implementing it. Come on, stand up, Josh. I know you've already been a steer farmer for FFA. This is nothing but a thing. We're going to have a new 911 dispatcher class, basically, where we'll have kids that leave high school certified, come work for you, Jim. And we think it's a great thing for our children, for your department, for our community, because hopefully we're not going to see this in Charlotte County and Hardee County. We'll be able to get some of these jobs with y'all. But we wanted to recognize you and Josh for what y'all do for our community and for our kids and for our workforce as we try to develop that workforce. And Asina, we want to recognize you in South Florida because y'all are the drivers behind this grant that made this all happen for us. And we're just so glad to have you with us, Sheriff. This is your first meeting with us, I believe, since I've been superintendent. Welcome, and Josh and Asina, thanks so much for the time that y'all spent in the collaboration making this happen, because this will be something that our kids can go out and be employed in at a later date. We've got a fairly extensive. Josh, would you address the board just a second in terms of what we're doing with criminal justice?
Chair, board members, superintendent. So DeSoto County High School, starting last year, began looking at other opportunities within our CTE department. As the state looks at different certifications, which is what they'll pay for over time, some of those that were like Microsoft, things that were kind of easier for students to attain, those are sort of gone by the wayside. So we were looking for other things that students could do and things that our community needed. And one of them that was popping up was 911 operator, emergency responders. And so what we started last year was the first part, is basically criminal justice operations and 911 safety telecommunicator program. So students, they could potentially start 9th grade, but for maturity reasons, we're starting in 10th grade, but they'll take some criminal justice operation courses that are taught by former corrections officer and to get an accredited profession certification. And then the last piece of that would be for public safety telecommunicator, and that is taught by one of our teachers who is actually former law enforcement in Sarasota. So we're excited to have that program. It's something that once they graduate high school, they can immediately get a job that pays pretty well. So we're excited. And of course, again, the collaboration with South Florida State College with the grant that allows us to be able to do that. for the, we have a nursing grant, but because of this, it is tied into that, we're able to do that. So we're very, very thankful for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much. And Madam Chair, there are several other pieces of this grant. We have the nursing situation. Didn't we get an auto mechanic simulator that will be housed at the college? But our students will have access to also.
Yeah, so we have a hybrid simulator actually, so students can begin learning on hybrid vehicles without the potentially lethal situation of electricity going through their body. So everything is very safe and sound and secure with that. The telecommunications simulator that was purchased is a big deal. I mean, it was a big purchase, but it's top notch. So we're really excited about them having that opportunity. And yes, with the health science classes, and Amy Wethridge's class, that was supported as well. She's gone to town getting some great simulators for her class.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Next up, I'd like to recognize our DeSoto County Education Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for what you did. All of our dinners that we had for our teachers, our teacher appreciation piece, that was funded by our DCEF. We're in the process of ordering recognition pins for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30-year pins. Those are a big deal, a source of pride for our employees. They're funding that. One of my favorite things is because I'm an ex-coach, the t-shirts. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the t-shirts. Which y'all provided, communicate the encouragement for our teachers. And let me tell you, y'all are investing in our kids when you invest in our teachers. I'm seeing some really encouraging things. This isn't a formal presentation in terms of where we're at student achievement wise, but I'm seeing an improvement. I'm looking at kindergarten right now, 68% proficient in reading at one of our elementary, 65% at another one. The other one's dipped down, the third one has. First grade, 65, 66%, 67% are fourth graders. Right now, 49%. Our second graders are in that 50%, a little over 50% range right now. Our third graders, they're still in that 30-something%, and we're going to get better within our fifth graders lag. But I'm seeing that. I'm looking at good things that are happening in our middle school. If we had the points that we could get for improvement, for growth, middle school would be out of improvement this year. And really so would West Elementary. And there's a good, strong possibility Nocatee would be out if we had those growth points. And let me tell you something, you're talking about a tough year to be a school teacher. How about it when you follow up with pandemic and you have a hurricane and you shut schools down? And I really salute our teachers, but really the foundation, because we needed a shot in the arm. We need the enthusiasm, and we got it from y'all. Mary Kay, I'd like to turn it over to you and the foundation. And I think that Heather, you're going to be the spokesperson for the group.
I can talk. Thank you so much. And Heather is going to talk on behalf of the chair. And then we have a little presentation. So, and we'd like a picture.
Thank you. We do appreciate the collaboration with the school district. Wanted to take a few minutes while we're here to just speak to the fact that, you know, what you said, it's been an unprecedented year from a school district's perspective. And they're very grateful that the foundation was able to step in and collaborate with organizations like Volunteer Florida. We had over 70 scholarships that we provided this past year, in addition to work this past week as far as the senior scholarship night. And we're able to work with the consortium of Florida Education Foundations, a number of local businesses, as you're all familiar with, that we partner with on an annual basis to provide, you know, everything from mini grants to be able to do the things that we do here locally. As a foundation, there's a lot of rules that we have to follow as far as grant funding and making sure that, you know, having those discretionary funds, but then also being able to have very targeted funds that support the teachers and the students. And I agree with you, Dr. Bennett, that, you know, if we're supporting those teachers, that helps morale and that helps those students in the classroom. So foundation is always very grateful that we're able to be a part of that. So we do have some of our board members here tonight, and I just want to recognize them because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without an active board of directors. We have Martha Jo Markey, Bill Hackney, Quinn Jones, and Sarah Walker, I think. In addition to that, I know this might seem crazy, but we have 2 part-time staff members. We don't have a full-time staff member that does all of this work. So Mary Kay Burns is, you know, kind of the driver behind all of this. The energy that the foundation has had the last couple of years with her at the helm has really been exciting to see. In addition to Janice in the back of the room, that is like proven to, you know, ever since the hurricane, we hired her on a part-time basis to be able to support us. And it's been a real godsend that we were able to help her and have her on. Because we were not expecting to get the amount of money that we got as far as hurricane recovery. So it takes time to manage all those grants and to make sure that those resiliency funds are going to things that are going to make a difference here locally and to be able to have the accountability that's attached to those grants. So with that, we just wanted to do a check presentation because this past school year, the foundation in conjunction with the Hurricane Ian relief, scholarships, the reading program, the grants we've received from business partners, mini grants, teacher of the year events, all the things we've done here locally exceeds $536,000 that we. I know that we did it for fees, we did some of the activities around the teacher and staff appreciation week. But we did get these new banners made and they weren't ready that week. So we wanted to bring them tonight, just that y'all can see that we want to make sure that these are proudly displayed outside of every single school. And it recognizes those local business partners who make that event happen. And really want to just remind those teachers that what they're doing matters, and you know, the community and the business community and all of us are super proud of them and just want to support everything that they're doing, whether it be, you know, during the summer or any time of year, but especially this past year, it's been tough. So thank you for the recognition, and I think we just wanted to get a photo.
Yeah. Make sure I don't fall. Can you see us all? Can't you see? I'm okay. Yeah. Where's Tom? In the front.
In the back.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. We got one. I don't want to hurt him before I get started. How many money is
I made it so much at 5:30 this morning. It's in the car. I'm excited about it. That's all. Thank God I did.
Thank you, Dan.
Out and out. I like to talk the way, you know. Yeah. Really hungry. Again, I got on the scale at the doctor office and I could not believe I said, I weigh that much. I'm like,
You better pass on that.
so I'm stopping all that Popeyes. Sweet.
Thank y'all,
lemonade.
folks. I sure do appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, a couple more things up. Next up, we've got Mr. Jones from DeSoto Middle School. Mr. Jones is going to be making a special student recognition of Ariel Johnson. I know she did some very good things with the state science fair, I believe. Is that correct? Well, we are proud of you, Mr. Jones. The floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to be here tonight. We're going to recognize one of our great students at Central Middle School. It's definitely a great thing to be here because we don't often get a chance to recognize all of the great things our students do. So we have a special certificate from her here, and we also have a video round with a lot of different things. But I also want to take the time to recognize her mom because without a great woman pushing her, and we want to do tonight. she did very well academically. We talked about very important to be respectful, initiate, and take responsibility and enthusiastically learn. And she definitely exemplifies that each and every day. So I read her certificate. It says Ariel Johnson awarded the certificate for Outstanding Project Award at the 68th State Science and Engineering Fair of Florida, representing the DeSoto Middle School. So we want to take this time to present this to her tonight. We want to say, John, well done.
Yes, can we get a picture?
Yeah, can we get a picture? We want to get a picture. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
We need more students like you.
Absolutely. He's got a challenge to encourage more of those students to do that because they were saying at the state level, they wanted more DeSoto kids involved. So hopefully she'll encourage them to do that.
That's right.
She's graduating tomorrow, so she'll get over there, that bulldog.
Yes.
Hmm?
Thank you, ma'am. Proud of you. Mom and dad, proud of y'all too. I know how very exciting that is. Thank y'all.
Well, I extra takeout plate, please.
Okay, and at this time, we're going to be introducing a couple new administrators for our district. We've got Miss Brandy Tackett, she'll be our new Knoxville Elementary principal. Miss Tackett's got over 10 years of administration experience. She's got experience in Title I schools. She's also been a principal, and her experience has been in Manatee and Hillsborough County. Welcome to DeSoto County, Miss Tackett. Okay, we have a new Associate Director of Instructional Services. That's Mr. Travis Hinckley. Mr. Hinckley is an experienced educator that taught in Orange County, was an assistant principal in Polk County. He's got experience and served as a school improvement specialist for the Florida Department of Education. He is standards-based. He's energetic. He is going to help us take it to the next level from the curriculum piece in our district. We're excited to have both of y'all. Welcome to DeSoto County. Travis, I'm glad you're not in Winter Haven. You're better off in Arcadia.
Welcome, welcome,
Welcome.
welcome.
We've got a few other pieces I'd like to visit with the board and the public on. And Marcus, we're just going to run through normal. We're not going to make any kind of an adjustment on this. So everything will go all the way to the bitter end. We're good. I think our quality of so forth is good of what we're hearing. So we're good. That's all I have at this time, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, sir. That moves us to public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on an agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 9, financial reports.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dr. Goodman, seconded by Ms. Mercer. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10 is routine business.
Motion to approve routine business.
Second. Motion by Ms. Schoeneman, seconded by Ms. Mercer. Any other questions, comments? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Number 11 is new business.
Motion to approve new business.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Schoeneman and seconded by Dr. Goodman. Any other discussion?
I was really impressed by that, LPN handbook. Well put together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and all of the contracts and stuff, but that was really, that caught my eye.
Yeah, they do a good job of that. And I'm really glad that that's offered. In fact, the college holds off on offering the LPN program here at DeSoto because they do such a good job at the Family Service Center.
Wonderful.
Something that we can be proud of here. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Dr. Bennett. Item number 12, Dr. Bennett.
Yes, ma'am. This past week, we released our survey to teachers, community members in the district about the state of the district, their opinion of the overall atmosphere and so forth, areas we could get better, areas they're proud of. But included that as the information about the new high school project. We were encouraging folks to give us their input. We have like 90 people to 100 people so far that have responded. That's going to be open for a little bit longer, but we look forward to getting public input on that. Last week, Eddie Dixon from Culpeper Construction came by the office. They're one of the special facilities builders, construction companies that have done quite a few of them. Eddie was very informative, gave me information in terms of making my presentation in Tallahassee when we get to that point to get the project awarded. Again, it was a very good visit. He looked at our property. He thinks we're in a good position. He likes where the location is of the old high school and feels like we can probably renovate the old high school roof and right with this project and make it one seamless piece. So that piece was looking good. Just informational piece for the board and the public. We're wanting to study moving to a K-6 model of education for the 24-25 school year. We don't want to do it in a silo. And by that, I don't want it to be just done in the district office. We want input from the outside. We want parental input. We want board member input. We want to do some town halls, one at Nocatee, one at West, one at Memorial to make sure everybody's involved. But we think it's going to change the middle school in a very positive way. And we think it's going to give support for those sixth graders in a very positive way. As we visited with BSI, I'm almost certain our sixth grade reading scores are going to soar because of that extra support. But we want to make sure we've got our teachers and our parents on board with what we're doing. And we want to listen to their voices as we move forward because it's going to be something that's different. But that being said, we need different. We're this close right now to becoming a very good district. And I'm talking about academically, and that's what we really need to do. Our focus needs to be on our strategic plan, serving our students and making sure that we have high achieving students that can read at or above grade level, and anything that we can do to do that, we want to leverage it. Josh, I commend what you guys have done at the high school with kids that are below level readers. You've done a wonderful job, masterful job of getting them remediated, tested, and ready to roll. Proud of what y'all are doing. Continue to do the same thing. If Damien was here, I would tell him to continue on because they're working very, very hard. A couple of new pieces that we're going to look at moving forward. I'm going to be forwarding a contract for Sarah to look over with the board's permission that we can sign and send it to the county commissioners that specifies duties in the event of a hurricane. We looked at what Bay County had. We were basically in a gunfight without a gun, so to speak, and just had to serve. And we want to serve. We want that middle school to be a big part of sheltering, but we want to spell out some of the responsibilities, and we want to remove some of the FEMA piece off of our shoulder. It's their due diligence. I want to be paid by the county commissioners, just like Bay County has. We've seen other districts that went through this. We need to do it to protect our district. We want to specify shelter opening, who's in charge of shelter, et cetera, et cetera. What the county's expectations are out of us. And Sarah, if you would review that for us.
Working on a much more robust version of an agreement. I'm taking what you want, some of the things I saw that is in there and making sure it addresses those things. There's a conflict, how that's decided, but yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to have to try to visit with FEMA because let me tell you, we had people working 100-hour weeks and we couldn't pay them but 40-hour weeks.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to them.
No, I've got that language. I'm pulling from several other counties and stuff where and I'm looking down south because they had these issues obviously come up a lot. So,
and if you check Bay, we really got with Bill Husfeld what they did in Bay, and he might have done some additional things afterwards. Thank you, ma'am.
When do we anticipate that being ready?
I will have that ready this week. So if you want to give him authority or if you want to wait till the next meeting, but it would be nice to have it in place by June 1st. So you can give authority contingent on, my review and approval to execute it, because it's going to just provide for the sheltering, but we're going to outline who's responsible for what, if there's a conflict in terms of they're going to seek the reimbursement. Now I have criteria in there that aligns with kind of FEMA in terms of getting paid, but it's essentially putting us on notice. Like if employees want to get paid, this is what they need to do to track it and how they can be paid, but it does put it on the county to do that process.
Because we've yet to get a dime from FEMA and we're in an expedited project.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the grace of God that we're still sound financially.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and this puts it on the county rather than us to
Yeah.
jump through this FEMA hoops.
No, we've not seen that at all yet, and I know June first is around the corner. Board, what do you want to put a provision in place that says,
We can have it where it comes back for ratification.
mhm,
So maybe you could allow them to preliminarily,
right,
and then it'll be, you'll be able to amend it, but I mean,
It won't be a signed document until the county commissioners they'll look it over. Then they'll send it back to us and then we'll actually have it board approved.
Yeah.
At that point.
so you can allow him to, you can give authorization. And this is not uncommon, so subject to the, board attorney review. To move forward with it. And then once you get it back, it'll come before you for the final like ratification, but it allows him to move in the process. Just to outline the terms, so you understand kind of, it's so it gives the superintendent the authority kind of act as your designee during these times to make some of these decisions, or his designee. But it's selecting the shelters. Now, the county, because they are the emergency management agency, has a lot of the authority in terms of when they kind of make that, make that determination that they're going to go into activation. But there is provisions in there that it's subject to all of the students being gone, that there's no students that are for aftercare or anything like that. So it just builds in protections. It kind of clarifies the insurance, who's going to cover what, who has the authority over what, and personnel. When do they have authority over the personnel? When do they remain kind of under the school board? So it just really kind of clearly delineates who's responsible for what.
and that's from the county commissioners, I know for, so that's figuring out some of the things like the special needs shelter, because we deal with the, health department with that.
It still addresses anything with the special needs. So some of those things will be special needs, but then there can be addendums, obviously, because that also is coordinating with the Department of Health. But it still would address some of those. So if it's at one of our facilities and we're staffing it, then some of those issues, we still want them seeking the reimbursement. We still want them covering the expenses during that time. So some of those things, are still going to apply. So, there's certain provisions that will apply regardless. You want to identify who's has authority, who's coordinating with the sheriff, who's, those things.
Some of that is it not in statute, some of that?
It's easily forgotten
Yeah.
during an emergency.
Yeah, that's right.
And everybody has their own idea.
Of how to interpret it, sure.
How far to go.
Having survived through Ian.
Yeah.
I felt we had nothing to stand on.
Yeah.
And we were blown by the wind.
Yeah.
And we want to be a great partner to the community. We want that middle school will be a shelter. The moment they tell us open, I just don't want to be in a position where we have no say so as to what's going on. And that we've got ponies and pythons in the gym, let's say.
Yeah.
With pets. And I do want to have
Yeah.
some control over what happens.
Madam Chair, I don't mind making a motion that we give the superintendent the authority to act for us to move forward with this process so that the county commission can have a chance to look at it. And then, of course, contingent upon our approval, bringing it back to us.
Okay,
There won't be a signed contract until y'all vote to approve it.
but it would be a beginning process, because
Yes.
it is gonna take some time.
It
I'm
will.
sure they're probably gonna come back and.
No.
They may, they may.
What's the piece that has to be done by June first?
Well, you just want those things in place because that's the start of hurricane season.
Okay,
You want it. So a lot of agencies don't necessarily right now. And so it's just, if that were to happen, you could kind of activate, that could be one of those emergencies. So during emergency meetings, they would you would get that approved. So you want that kind of in progress. So if it does happen, at least we say, okay, we've got this agreement, we'll use it for this event. So we'll get,
the hurricane season, not the school year.
yes. Yeah, the agreement is long-term. It's, many years, but you can always amend it.
We have a motion by Dr. Goodman to give the superintendent authority to move forward with the contract between the Board of County Commissioners and the DeSoto County School District, also in collaboration with our council. And then we can ratify it once that's brought back to us. We have a motion. Double seconds, who wants it?
Doesn't matter.
All right, Ms. Mercer, you get it, Jay. All in favor? Aye. I'm sorry, I didn't ask for discussion. Would
We
anyone like to
discussed
discuss?
We discussed that. We did.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir.
One last thing, Madam Chair, there's an unclear title at the outdoor classroom. We don't have ownership under any agreement right now. We are just basically a squatter out there that has liability because of buildings. If you remember, we had a lady come to a board meeting and it was about the dilapidated structure and vagrants that were hiding out and keeping out. Hurricane Ian took care of that. We had everything boarded up previous to that, but we really have nothing that we have any interest in that property. My thought, and I would like to ask the board to again allow our attorney to draft an agreement that that property reverts back to the county commissioners in all practical purposes, the upkeep and the maintenance. We have nothing out there of any value. We've demolished any structure that was damaged by Ian. There's a set of bathrooms out there that are still standing, but that really, we don't own the property. We're sending folks out there to mow, keep the property up. But just because of our sharing it, we've got a share of the liability. I'd like to totally withdraw our portion of interest in that property, and they can't sell it. They can't do anything with it because there's again, that unclear title that goes back to 26 generations,
Yeah.
or not 26 generations, 26 people. They can't get 2 or 3 people to sign off to the county. So we'll never have that opportunity. And I don't believe that we could ever recreate the outdoor classroom like it was. So I'd like to get the board's permission to move forward and have I don't know if it would be a statement or what you would call it.
I need to look at it. So I think I have an email. I think that's a lease. They're saying a lease, but I need to see. So on what document I'll need to prepare for it, to decide. It'll definitely be a resolution. And then beyond that, I don't know. And I'll reach out to their attorney too, to see what they want.
And I've already had conversation with them and they're expecting this. We just don't know how to go about it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion to authorize our attorney to draft a resolution for the options for retracting any lease that we may have.
Yeah, relinquishing any ownership or
There you go.
access to the property.
So
Second.
motion by Ms. Schumann and seconded by Dr. Goodman. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Just to put notes here because I haven't, let me finish this up. And I know we've already passed that motion. I will say that that was a special place back in the day.
Was.
Back in the day, and it really has morphed and changed.
Was in the first class that went out there.
Oh, really?
Back in the dinosaur days.
I remember going out there, Mr. Stanko. and them,
Yes,
putting the hutch
sir.
up,
Yes,
Yes,
Snack
sir.
in the cage.
Yes, sir.
The whole thing.
Sandy, the little
Sandy the
monkey.
That's right. So,
Madam Chair, lastly, I'd like to congratulate our graduating seniors and their parents,
yes.
and wish all of our students a safe, restful, fun summer. Our teachers a safe, restful, fun summer. Thank you, ma'am. That's all I have, Madam
Yes, sir.
Chair.
Thank you. Very good. Well, that brings us to item 13, public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 14, board member comments. Ms. Mercer.
I would just like to thank the DeSoto County Education Foundation for all they've done for the teachers and staff and all of us even and the community. And congratulate the graduating seniors because as a mom, I am not okay this week. But I'm definitely looking forward to their futures and seeing what they can accomplish. Congratulations to the 2023 seniors. They're probably our most resilient class, I think. Everything that they've gone through all 4 of their years, and then to top it off with the hurricane this year, and then they come back and we have pretty good numbers for graduation. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our CTE classes that we have, the nursing dummies. I want to go check those out. Those sound like they're going to be pretty cool. So
Fantastic. Thank you. Dr. Goodman.
It was very exciting to see the sheriff and the city marshal here tonight in conjunction with Dr. White with the CTE programs that are coming on. Thank you, Asina. for seeing that through. That's exciting for them to be able to graduate from high school and be able to put their hands on a job. That is just absolutely exciting. Appreciate that. Excited about graduation for the 8th graders in the morning, because that little girl is my granddaughter and she's graduating in the morning.
Oh, congratulations.
From DeSoto. So excited about that. I attended the graduation of my grandson who graduated from Cypress Creek High School, 886 seniors, Doc. And they started at 8:30, and at 10:30, I was walking back to my car. Now it took another hour to get out of all that traffic, but it was a wonderful thing. And so I'm excited for the graduation tomorrow and then our graduation on Friday. And their principal did say that this senior class is most resilient because of all the things that they've gone through. And indeed it is. But as I look at them and at the they were at the scholarship dinner, and I was watching, not the dinner, the scholarship. I'm hungry, so I'm thinking dinner. The scholarship ceremony. It was exciting to see some of those kids, because having worked at the high school for a few years as the grad coach, it was just kind of neat to watch them go across the stage. And I can only imagine what they're going to do, but I just know that it's going to be great. So I'm excited. It's a good time of year.
It is a great time of year.
Great time
You
of
can
year.
see all the folks right up.
Yes. Yes, it makes the hard work and some of the negative stuff that we have to go through make a difference with this. Yes.
So all of this, I appreciate all of this as well. To avoid redundancy, I won't go on and on about all those things, but yes, proud of all of our students. Especially proud of the 24 seniors that earned their AA.
Yes.
And,
Ooh.
got that on May 9th, and
Mm.
4 other students who earned their automotive certification. I was recently looking back at the history and trend line of the number of students and how that's grown over the years. And I really appreciate the good collaboration that we have with the high school. Dr. White has some great things happening on campus, and we'll continue to have them on campus with offering some classes there as well for college credit. So we appreciate all of that. I do want to ask the board members, number one, just to remind you to get your Form 6 done if you have not done your Form 6 yet. And then also to your Form 6 yet.
Okay, we'll do it. I haven't.
That's okay. And also to remind everyone, you sent out the strategic plan again for everyone to review that. I think at our next workshop or master board, possibly we could do a quick review or something of maybe the different areas or something we want to dig in a little more deeply. So just a reminder to review all of that. And that's all I have. So with that, I'll take the motion for adjournment.
Dermot, I do remember also, because I'm a dinosaur, when there was 1 or 2 students who got their AA degrees.
Yeah.
I remember when it was just an unknown that you could do that. It was just sort of this entity out there. And I love it. I'm so excited.
You know, the
Thank
next
you.
trend that we're really seeing,
Mhm.
and I know you're seeing it as well, is the students who they're graduating early in
Yes.
December, and they're not only graduating in December, but they're graduating with their AA also in December, which is, and that number
Phenomenal.
is trending way up as well.
It's phenomenal.
So I have 4 on the list already for this year. So I'll give you I know you feel like I like the list, so I'll get you the list. Very good. Do you have a motion for adjournment? Okay, motion